Hi, I'm Marcel, and welcome to me screaming into the void mostly about books. I am doing Criminali's Read What You Own challenge, where my husband has picked out 100 books, wrapped them up, given them all numbers, and I'm reading them one at a time. And I have just finished The End by Samuel Becket, and this is a fairly short book and a part of Penguin Modern. And this is sort of a short story that Samuel Beckett wrote about a man who is thrown out of a place with, I think it is some kind of, what do you call it, charity? So he has been at this charity and he is now having to leave it, and he sort of is begging, please let me stay, please let me stay. And this is, of course, an allegorical book. So what you sort of envision with this old man who is thrown out, is ended up on the streets, ends up in a kind of boat, and is just sort of going along. What do you sort of imagine the man to be and the end to be will very much be up to you and up to your interpretation. I really felt like the end that they were referring to. This book did, sort of the short story did come out in 1954. So I felt very much that the end he was talking about, the end of how this man was treated and everything that was happening around him, very much was a comment on the end of society as we knew it due to the Second World War and everything that was going along around it. That sort of the camaraderie and sort of the collective community that had existed, especially during the war, was now over. And the people that had gone off to fight in the war came back to a society that was completely different and a culture that was completely different. And sort of the Second World War had so many vast changes with it. And one of sort of also the changes that I think that it is sort of one of the things that is commenting in this book is that human rights and recognizing everyone's humanity is something that didn't really exist before the Second World War. So the UN human rights, for example, came out as a consequence to especially what the Nazis did in their concentration camps, and everyone thinking, oh, this isn't good. And then you have to think, well, why don't I think it's good? Well, because everyone has some kind of humanity in them. So in this book, he sort of highlights this newfound idea of every human has a worth, every human deserves to be seen and heard and valued in a culture where you hadn't really gotten to grips with how do we ensure that everyone has the things that they need, the things that can ensure their own humanity. That the idea and discourse around the change of how we look at other people doesn't really matter if they don't have what they need to survive, if there isn't a community that is going to take care of them and take care of their needs. So there are so many changes in the sense that the ideologies that had changed. How do we view humans? How do we view society? All of that had changed due to the consequences of the Second World War. But the organization of society hadn't changed necessarily that much. It had, but at the same time, it hadn't. So there are so many conflicting things that are happening around here. And of course, when that is, what do you do as an individual, as someone who needs help, as someone who is sick or dying or old, being told that you deserve these things, yet not actually getting them? I don't know. I liked it. I really, really liked it. It was something quite sort of unsettling about reading it without me really being able to say why this is unsettling. But all good books are like that, in one sense. So, new book, new number, new green note. '54. Give me a moment. 54. Based on the shape, I assume it's going to be another of our Penguin Modern or Penguin Classics. I just stopped because I saw that someone had written something on this piece of paper that the book is wrapped in, and I couldn't understand. Has he written me a note? Why has he written me a note like that? No, he has done the crossword. So I'm seeing the crossword. Ooh, another Penguin Modern. Ordre Lord, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. From the self-described black lesbian mother warrior poet, these soaring, urgent essays on the power of women, poetry and anger are filled with darkness and light. Is that how I pronounce her name's Audrey? Audrey? Because if it's Audrey, it should be a Y at the end, right? Someone tell me in the comments down below, how do you pronounce that name? And thank you for listening to me screaming into a void, and subscribe if you want to know my thoughts on Order the Lord.